Early County is one of the largest land counties in Georgia, but it's also one of the lowest in population throughout the county. We only have 12,000 people.
There's very little to do outside of school and church. Teen pregnancy is an issue. Drugs, underage alcohol, and tobacco consumption is an issue.
We have a high illiteracy rate here.
When we started in 2003, we were the third lowest county in Georgia as far as poverty goes.
The average teenager sees a lot of poverty and a lot of the problems that come with poverty.
They don't have enough money barely to pay their rent and their utilities. And if anything goes, it's their food.
The spirit here of the people is a very generous and giving spirit. And in the last 10 years, I've seen that same giving spirit being shown towards Family Connection, towards the children and the families that we serve every day.
And I see families that want better for their children, but aren't quite sure how to get there for them.
People on all sides of the economic level were actually wanting to become involved and always have been interested in collaborating to try to meet the needs of the people here. That's what the collaborative is all about, is putting together the services and making them available to people so that they can be successful and can be contributing citizens, which they all wanted to be.
When I was hired, I just thought I was the luckiest person in the state to be working here because the collaborative was already in place. What we needed, though, was some structure. We definitely needed some training because I didn't know an indicator from an outcome. And so there was a huge learning curve there for us. And that's what I've always been so grateful to the partnership for, was the training and the resources that they've given us to be able to do our work on the local level.
Before we had Family Connection, we would brochure people to death. We would give people brochures all the time for everything, and when they would leave, we would go out to the parking lot and pick up the brochures. And so literature, passed down literature, is not always the best way to tackle a public health problem. Working with Family Connection, you actually put feet to action.
We have a common bond. We meet, we discuss, and we get ideas from each other. And we're all doing it for the cause of the citizens of Early County.
And we have been so fortunate to have state partners like the Governor's Office of Children and Families who have invested in our positive youth development programs and our abstinence programs, the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities, who has really shown a strong investment in us since 2009 by first helping us work on our alcohol abuse and now branching out into prescription abuse.
If Family Connection was taken from us, I feel the chain that has held us together, a link would be missing.
Georgia is the only state in the union that's structured the way we have the partnership and the network structured in every county in Georgia. Our state legislators support the work that we do, and we are extremely grateful to our representatives in Early County, Representative Gerald Green and Senator Dean Burke, for their support of Family Connection in this region.
Being part of the collaborative has helped us become known in what we do and the mission that we have, and they have supported us in meeting the needs of some of the families that we do serve.
With half the people in Early County without a high school education, obviously there's a big opportunity here for us to lead here the GED process, so that the young adults and some older adults can get a high school education. Without it, we all know they have very little chance in the workplace.
I think that some of our students feel like they're not leaders. They have very little self-worth, and that's a problem, and that's what leads to alcohol and tobacco and other things like teenage pregnancy. They're looking for self-worth, and if they feel like they're worth something in my classroom, then that is tremendous.
I dropped out because I had some kids and I got attached to them and spoiled them and stuff like that. And then I made up my mind my children graduated and went to college and stuff, and I made up my mind I needed my education too.
They needed a component to reinforce financial literacy. They called upon the Cooperative Extension Office here to be that source, to come in and once a month to do an hour class with the WIA students and to share with them how to open up a bank account, how to know the difference in credit cards, know the difference on interest rates, know the purpose of how you save and what you need to do when you start getting that income. I'm just so proud to say that just recently I saw one of the WIA students who's now working full-time at one of the local grocery stores, and he emphasized how much he appreciated Family Connections, WIA, and the Cooperative Extension Office giving him the chance to learn about financing and to get some job experience and to be encouraged to get his GED.
The Family Connection has also included the youth of our community in the planning of their programs and implementation of our programs. And that has been great because it helps those kids buy into what is here. And they get to participate in a lot of activities, giving them more experience in public speaking, in being a serving member of the community and giving back.
What I learned from this community and the people that are around this community, that's the basis of what is going to set me in life and help me strive for success. So yes, I would like to come back and help my friends and family and my environment that I was raised in.
Youth in general, we just forget sometimes of what they're capable of. And even myself, and I consider myself an advocate for youth and believe fully in youth empowerment and giving them opportunities, but I think sometimes we just forget to do that. And so when I see them show up for the programs that have been offered here and choosing to be a part of something that can help them, when we have just other activities and we need volunteers and they go, yeah, I'll come help with that. And it makes me proud that they want to be a part of the work that we're doing.
In learning about poverty and learning about the issues that we work on, it's those relationships that people have with other people that will help them succeed or not succeed.
When you come to the table with so many different agencies, so many of the public health problems that we look at are what we call wicked problems. They're too complex for one agency to tackle. And Family Connections has been that agency we could bring anything to.
I had lost my kids, and the judge recommended me to go to take parenting classes, and I went. My relationship with my kids, it don't got better. It has got better, because when I had lost, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have, you know what I'm saying, when I lost, you know what I'm saying, they ain't really too much look up to me because, you know, of what happened to them. But when I showed them I could be a better mom and you know, get off that stuff, which I did, because I'm going on, 5 years now, I've been clean. Without Family Connection, I probably would be still out there on the streets, on drugs, you know, when we trying to get my children back.
One of the things that we've been working and focusing on the last 2 years is changing community norms. There's a huge acceptance in I think, rural poverty-stricken communities that they just accept it. It's the way it's always been. They accept that there's nothing else for teenagers to do except drink on weekends. It's okay if you drop out or you get pregnant. We're trying to show them and teach them it's not okay and it's not the norm.
Some kids won't understand that tobacco and cigarettes is harmful to your health, but they will understand that a pack of cigarettes is $5 and that hurts their wallet. But then I also instill in them that I can stand up there and preach and talk about how these things are bad, but until they make the decision not to do them or not to start doing them, it's all for nothing.
Drugs are not for you, bring you down, you lose your children, you lose your love from your family, from friends. You don't have nobody to look up to no more, nobody to help you. You got to work that thing out yourself. Cause if you ain't trying, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you.
There is a lot of things going on, but you gotta keep on talking to your kids, check on them. Try, if you have to work, still keep contact with them and keep on telling them, how important it is not to drink, not to use drugs, not to smoke, because it's bad for them and it's always going to ruin their lives.
A lot of our children are dependent on what they can get in the school system or from an organization such as Family Connection for that extra boost and that extra education and teaching that they need to make wise decisions in their lives.
I have a family that was, I went to visit for another child in our school system, and when I was there I noticed that they had a 4-year-old at home and was talking to them about why the 4-year-old was still at home and what could we do to get them enrolled. And the mother didn't have the resources to get a birth certificate, and she didn't have one available, which was something she needed to enroll her child. So you just pick up the phone and you call Family Connections, and they're there to help and support. So that made a big difference for that child, in particularly to get an early start in school and not get behind.
You see those balloons? They do. Oh, and then a little crow. Remember, the scarecrow scares off the birds.
When we started Words on Wheels, we started going into the daycares and taking books and doing puppet shows and just getting ready to prepare the kids for school, and we wanted to make that connection with the daycare provider and give them some tools to help the kids. So many children just don't have books in their homes, but we know that within the daycares there will be in their hands.
The early literacy is the foundation for success in school, so it's one of the things that we know that we can contribute from a business relationship with the library and the Family Connections to we become a familiar face. Hopefully we're teaching with the library's connection that the elders, as they get older, they can continue to use the resource that the library provides, and also the Family Connections.
Yes.
Me and my husband, we think it's very important to learn English, to learn parenting, to get all the services that they are offered, to take advantage of them, because we might have them today. We don't know if tomorrow they're going to be available for us. But if we have them, we have to take the time, because everybody has a busy schedule, but we need to take the time to go and learn something, and it's going to help us every day in life.
Great staff here, every one of them, I know them, they're dedicated to just helping people. It's not a job, it's a calling, and every single one of them, I believe, feel that strongly, and it shows in their work. It's not just a 9-to-5 job. They work very hard and often overlooked, because they're dealing with the least of these, and I believe that's a biblical mandate for all of us, that we're to deal with the least of these, and I think they do that very well here.
I just cannot speak highly enough of how Family Connections have made a big impact in this community, and they continue to partner with the Extension Office and other agencies that want to see our community grow to the potential, to the highest potential that it can be.
I don't think there's a better return on the tax dollar in this county than this organization returns. So many good things happen here. Money well spent as far as the county is concerned. That's why we gave them this building, and I'm sure the state feels the same way about that. We're reaching the poor, and hopefully giving them the opportunity to become taxpayers.
I want to see children whose expectations have been raised. I want to see parents expect more from their children. I want children to know that they can meet those expectations. I want them to learn and take advantage of the opportunities that we try to bring to them when we find out there are gaps here and there. But mostly I think I just want the community as a whole to raise our expectations, because we are capable of so much more. I have seen it. I have seen these children, I have seen these mothers, these fathers all they'll rise to our expectations of them. And I think that's what I want most in the next 10 years.